Hi there, I'm Andy Hopcraft, I'm Technical Director at SDG Group. I'm going to talk to you about retail AI. We're just going to go through a little bit about us first and our experiences, what's happening out in the retail analytics market. And then the second half, I'm going to hand you over to Massimiliano, who's going to talk through a use case for retail AI. SDG Group is world-leading, fastest-growing consultancy firm. We're leading vision practices in business analytics, corporate performance management, and advanced business architectures. Our philosophy with our clients is to innovate together. We've been recognised by Gartner 2018 as BI and analytics. We're in a number of countries, 10 countries, 20 offices in UK, Europe, States, Africa, Middle East, etc. So from a solutions point of view, you can see we've got data-driven strategies on cloud, excuse me, I'm losing my voice here a bit, cloud on-premise and hybrid, augmented analytics, very much around the AI space. We've got 1,000 consultants plus with projects in this particular field. Industries that we're focusing in on is finance. One of the big areas is with retail fashion, as you can imagine, hence the reason why we're standing up here today. And as you can see with our clients, with H&M, Puma, some of the leading retail and fashion brands. The use cases that we have within the retail market sector cover things like customer lifetime value, so customer segmentation, propensity modeling, predicting retailers' next action, overstock, out of stock, something that Massimiliano is going to cover.
Max.
Yeah. But also the thing that's most important is to focus in on the business benefits first. Yeah, so we have to understand that we're really focusing on revenue, cost, and supplier and customer relationships. Looking at the statistics out there, I've obviously not got these accredited to people, but we can see there's a lot of cost savings in AI retail. So we can see 10% annual revenue growth, up to 10% for using automation capabilities. Over the next 4 or 5 years, there's cost savings of $840 billion that we can take from retail. Other elements is 85% of retail plan, intelligent automation. So backing this up, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the Gartner researchers, the AI maturity model is recognized as where you start with level 1 in awareness, so just becoming aware that you need to use AI within your organization and talking about it. We often spend quite a bit of time with our clients and they say, we need to do AI. As well, okay, so at least you're aware of it. Why do you need to use that? So then we need to look at some practical examples of that and then become active. And what we found is, we tend to do this, prove it, pilot it, productionize it. And what we found with retail is the maturity is still quite low. And people are in the sort of first stages of awareness and being active. But really what we do and where we want to sort of develop this is to become into this stage of operationalizing and this becoming systemic. So the difference between level 1 and level 2 and level 3 and level 4 is one is experimenting with this area and the second one is actually deploying it and productionizing it into your environments. So with retail, we can see that there's early stages of adoption at this low area. Deployment of data science is perceived as complex. And the complexities is around, we've got legacy systems. We have too much data. Our applications can't handle this sort of thing. So within retail maturity, these are the technical challenges, and really it's as simple as how do I get my data in, and how can we productionize the data to get the right value and return of investment. So it's really about getting the information in, but then productionizing that and getting the information out. And of course, the challenges is always with volume, variety, and velocity. Lots of spikes in traffic. Retail has these classic spikes on Monday morning of lots of activity going on to prepare for the week. And then just the integration of all of this AI and feeding that back into your operational systems is a real challenge where it's seen as a big headache. And then, of course, a lot of retail has lots of legacy systems. So how do we address that? So principally, we have all of our feeds coming in, social media, data warehouses, operational data, external data, market research data, lots of different feeds of structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. So where do we begin? Well, the absolute best offer really is around cloud deployment. So this really does offer the future and the most cost-effective way of implementing systems. So first thing we have to do is create a cloud data platform. I know you've probably been walking around a lot of the booths today, and you could probably see tools like Snowflake and Microsoft Azure and Amazon Redshift. Cloud data platform is really a way of you being able to elastically scale, import lots of information into there. And the way in which you get that data in is by using data pipeline services. And again, tools out here. The way in which you can get data from your sources into your cloud data platform is by using data pipeline services. That's something we can talk on. I'm not going to go through a lot of detail on this screen. So. And then, of course, you've got planning. So whether it's material planning, financial planning, inventory planning, supply planning, demand planning, financial planning, you need to have that service in there, as well as governance. So master data management, 360-degree view of your clients, of your products, all managed within a governance layer. And then to service that layer, we then use a data service layer, and things like data virtualization allows you to connect all the information, whether it's real time or data coming through on the cloud data platform. Now that's a classic setup and structure of what we deliver, but there's no kind of AI mentioned in here. You know, and the thing about AI, it's about capturing the data, it's about providing the preparation of that data, it's about running the machine learning and AI algorithms, and it's about automating those, and then it's about deploying those and getting them back into the full loop. So what we now have is this concept of an enterprise AI platform layer that underpins this entire structure within a cloud structure. Yeah. Now, this is a massive topic, and we're at stall 115, booth 115, and I'd love to talk to everyone about this. It's a real passion line. So, I'm excited to introduce you to Massimiliano, who's our global head of advanced business analytics, who's going to talk to you about a use case with a major fashion retail brand.
Right.
Over to you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm trying to check for the time I've got. So I'm going to talk about a use case of a customer that actually today is in this room. I cannot mention it, but is in this room, and whatever kind of details you want to have, just come and visit us. So I don't know how it works. Okay. So we're talking about different use cases, but specifically high fashion use case. So every 6 months, they do change the finished product. Otherwise, you don't go into fashion stores and buy the new product if they are the same. But they also change the material, the raw material. So the main issues here is there is no product history, and that was the main challenge. Then, I don't know if you know, but a fashion retail company does have a selling campaign that lasts between 2 or 3 months, and then after 4 months, the new products will be in the stores. So they have 4 months to industrialize something they sell for 2 or 3 months. So technically, the products for the spring summer that you start having now in December in the stores, because it lasts from December to June, they are sold between May, June, August. So they get September, October, November, December, August to industrialize the products. Then there are 4 different channels, okay? Wholesale, retail, e-commerce, and secondary channel. But when not all the products will finish in the secondary channel. When they will end in the secondary channel, it will be later on, a year later, with the product value a lot lower. So the main objective is to maximize the sales and the usage of the stocks in the primary channel on time. And as you know, when you start here, we're talking about really high fashion shoe manufacturers. One of the logo was there in our customer. And if you delay to put these products in the store for 1 month, you're going to lose 1 month of sales. You cannot just delay production. And the other thing, every 6 months, they don't produce for stock. They produce for customer orders. So during the selling campaign, you got the wholesaler and retailer, merchandiser, go into the showroom and place the order. So they cannot wait, they cannot start production before getting the orders. That's what's happening. So if you go to Armani, if you go to Tod's, if you go to Fendi, they all work like this. Gucci, they're all customer of ours, and they work like this. Okay? This is sound familiar? Okay. So how can you do any machine learning, or I don't like the machine learning word, predictive models with no history? That's the main issue. Because everyone say history is repeating itself. No, this is no history. There are lots of customers saying you should invest money in image processing. I don't like that. Because they want to, Andrew before was saying social media, so bloggers. Then there is a blonde salad, Chiara Ferragni, right? Should we index all of that? No, I don't think so. You're going to waste lots of time to understand the trends. So that, for us, that's not the way to go. The issue here, they're giving no product history is really hard to predict. Then what happens is you got a store stock out and another store overstock because the same product doesn't perform in the same way in different stores because they are different markets, even within the same country, but the assortment is the same. Then you go overstock in low-performing stores. Sorry about the slides. They're not really highly fashion about this, right? And then reduce value stock to secondary channel when they move it. So you cannot afford that. This is the setting, okay? Oh, sorry. That's it. Okay, so the main challenge was, and it's been achieved, we have to model sales forecast in order to anticipate production. We want to start production before the end of September, but we have to make sure that we identify the top selling products before they start selling. That's the objective. The problem is there is no product history, but it's a low frequency sale. It's not easy to be Sainsbury, right? It's not easy. But here, you don't have the customer going in a Todd's store every month. You go once, twice a season. How can you understand that you're losing a customer or not? You don't go every day to an high-level fashion to buy whatever, a Fendi bag. Okay, you do once, twice a season. That's another problem, low frequency. And then the main objective is at the end of the day, simple. When you got the products, rather than distribute the products to all your retail store, distribute where it's most probable to sell it. That's simple. But the problem is to understand how you know that that product is going to work better in London, in Milan, or in Rome than in Madrid. That's the issue. But our customer said we met the objective, right? So we basically we are using 5 different models, but 2 main models. One is in pre-season. So what we did, we managed to find the trend setter because the wholesale buy at the same time as retailer, but the wholesaler buy at the same time. So if we are managing to interpret correctly the behavior of purchasing behavior or sales behavior to wholesaler, and if there is a connection between wholesale sell-in and retail sell-out, but the difference is in 6 months time, then we did it. So for us, it's useless to invest money in product characteristic to understand what is the best color, what is the best shape. No. The secret for us in this case was to identify trendsetters. It's like the election poll. They don't go and interview all the Italian or UK or Spanish people. All of these countries got elections in this time. They don't go interview all of them. There is a representative number of people that will tell you how it's going to go. So the only thing we had to do is to find the trendsetter within the wholesaler. Why the wholesaler? Because wholesaler, they are not driven by the budget of the retailer. So my stores does have a budget, so they cannot just buy whatever they want. Because they got a budget limitation, the collection need to be in the stores, they cannot just buy everything. While the wholesaler, if they don't like the brown shoe, they just don't get it. Why? The brown shoe is everywhere in the stores. So it's more free. So the idea is, let's find a trendsetter 6 months before it's gonna sell, without sell. And we found them. This is something that we found them. This is a product, because the idea is, over time, the scoring mechanism, if you want the details, we're going to be there today and tomorrow, or just call us up, give a score to the wholesaler, wholesaler, and to be consistent over time, okay? If this is not good, because in one season we are good, and the other season the same wholesaler was bad. But this is really good, because the score was consistent. So the good idea is, we found a trendsetter. So we knew, and the accuracy was more than 80%. We identified all the top seller 6 months before. And the reason why I say we did identify it, we used 4 or 5 years of history. The last year, we didn't use the data. We trained the model for the 4 years before, predict the 5th year, the latest one, and it was right. And this crazy customer, one of these customers is in this room, so he's really crazy. He also come to me and listen to what I'm saying. They did decide to produce those SKU. The model said, produce this, and they did produce this. That's really operational machine learning. It's not just a pilot. It's not just, let's use a tool, let's use whatever tool. I don't want to offend any tool. Whatever tool, this is working business benefit. But this is just before to produce. And then what happens is, every day I need to decide where to send my shoes. Where is going to sell. But again, you don't have any product history. So what we did, and I have some fights with a customer with also our data scientist, and they said, the designer within this fashion industry said, this is a new product, you cannot know how it's going to go. And the bad news for this designer was, the history is the same. So a product can go really well, really bad, medium low, medium high, but the shape of the sales prediction is the same over time. So this is real data. These are all the SKU at the store level, and we did identify the shapes. The shapes means the red are low seller, the whatever pinky one are the top seller, the green, light green here are the medium high, blue medium. So we made the cluster of SKU of the history, and then what happens? Every day, when we get the sales, we classifying, is going to be a bestseller or not? Is going to be a low seller or not? And we forecast it, how it's going to end up at the end of the season. And what we did, we produce and studies and implemented rules of replenishment, because every day there is a replenishment process and sending the products based on the model where you're going to sell more. Not just to everyone, not what they bought, not what the merchandiser decide when it's going to be sold most probably. So every day what we did, historical trends, analyze the shape, not just the number, the shape, meaning the frequency and the amount by time. We know where they are in the product maturity, calculate with 3 different models, 1, 2, and 3, the short, medium, and long-term forecast, put them together and say, give it to this store. Result? This one. No production, that's what we're going to get. We're expecting about, without touching the amount of products being produced, we're expecting up to 10% increase. And this is real numbers. Because we can go even higher to 35%. That's the next step we're going to do. Because today we are optimizing distribution of whatever they produce. The next step is tell them what to produce, in what amount. But this is just distributing to just the top seller, customers, meaning stores and products. And this is a real project. And what we say that what can we learn? That without the business benefit, this would have been end up in a pilot. We can say we just use whatever machine learning tool. No, here there is a great support from business, 5 different models within the system, and be completely operationalized, meaning that take decision, the system and the planners take decision based on this model and deliver it. Just to give you an idea, any store of this company have got up to 3,500 SKU per day in assortment, the highest store. Calculating the size, right? SKU size, not just the SKU, they go up to 3,500. They got several hundreds of stores. So as we speak, the architecture behind this is able to produce up to 2 million forecasts per day. And that's the amount of data that we do crunch every day. And then we apply an R model within it. Then we have the planning. And then we send the order back to AES 400 SAP, because that's where the replenishment happens. And that's it. That's the use case. And the customer is here in this room. I'm not allowed. Maybe I did say the name. I don't remember. But I did say that. And he's here. If you got any question, we are here. Okay. Thank you. And thanks for the great applause. Thank you.